The virtual compound microscope is a simulation of a real biology lab compound microscope, and it represents a tool that biology students must learn how to use very early on in their studies. In this interface there is a narrated tour of all the features of the microscope, a checklist for going through the steps that must be completed, and two views of the microscope, this view which is looking at the microscope and the second which is looking through the microscope. All of the knobs and buttons on the microscope function exactly as they do on a real microscope. Looking through the microscope allows the learner to again make adjustments according to the checklist on the side. Here is an example of the microscope being used in a laboratory activity within a biology course focused on the origins of life. There are several steps and tools in this activity, but in the first instance the learner is directed to a fact sheet on the compound microscope which they can download and keep, and a simple explanation of what this exercise is all about. They're then directed to visit the virtual compound microscope and select the onion cell slide, since the remainder of this activity is focused on onion cells. You can see that there are some graphics here accompanying an explanation of how the slides were prepared, and then the next step is for them to look at the onion cells in an image gallery. Now, this floats in a separate window and represents different views, different magnifications of the onion cells which they can examine, and also they can compare with what they were viewing in the activities associated with the virtual microscope. The next step in their activity is to create a cell diagram, and the cell diagram and the questions associated with it go into a journal entry which in this case uses the journal function of the Blackboard.